what is Ukraine? Where is Ukraine?
So you work with Ukrainian women.
Everything matters.
5 things that just are crucial in the partner.
Showing a man like a model, because a woman is a model. She has to look cute. She has to smile. International love relationships are actually not for everybody.
Hi everyone, my name is Mitra and I'm joined here today with Natalie Koval, the We Love relationship expert, as well as the founder and the creator of Matchmaking Boutique Possible. So, Natalie.
Hello everyone. Yes, international relationships rule. International love relationships create a better life.
So why just international? Why just not choosing the local partner in your city, in your village, and not just going out of your bubble?
Because it's fun, because it's giving people different challenges, because it's bringing people to better relationships, because global tendencies are making the world a big village. And we are no longer the citizens of our own city or a country. We are citizens of the world. And Hollywood gives movies that are showing common values, that are bringing a lot of things that are really connecting people. And international love relationships are actually not for everybody. These are for strong individuals that are ready for the top challenge in their lives, but they want it because that type of challenge will bring them to a different level of self-realizations and success.
Yeah, that's inspiring. But I would say that you believe in the united and globalized world which unites a lot of people together.
Yes, I believe in it because I see a lot of examples. 187 couples are already happily married, living all over the world in 27 countries, having, now that I have counted, 87 children, and the last kid was born a week ago, and it's a beautiful boy. So that inspires me because I see that throughout the 20 years of business experience, I've helped creating those families. Those families now exist because a man had a courage to come to me and a woman trusted me to come and meet each other. So I believe this number is bigger though, because now I'm writing everything down. We're signing contracts and I follow it religiously. But before, just, hello, introduce me to a good girl. Here's a good girl. And they live happily ever after.
So you just are saying that you can go with any man? So you can match any man with any woman?
No, of course not. I match Ukrainian women. Why Ukrainian women? Because I'm Ukrainian. I live in Ukraine and I know Ukrainian women. And Ukrainian women are attractive. They are honest. They are family oriented. They are less emancipated than other women. Well, we are less feministic, then we don't have to prove that we are stronger than men. We believe that men are stronger, but we are necks, men are heads, and we are turning each other. And we believe in masculine world. We'll live strongly in a masculine world, but we don't put it so obviously to men. So we don't discriminate men, basically. And that giving me a lot of hope with Ukrainian women. And not every man. I can't match any man. I can match a man who is confident, who is interested in long-term relationships, who's got an idea, what is Ukraine, where is Ukraine, and who has Ukraine in his heart a little bit, and Eastern European culture is saying something to him. A man who wants a bigger challenge in his life, who wants to try the unknown, because this is the most unknown you can try. Dating a European woman belonging to different background and trying to make it work. So men have to have a desire to try new relationships he never had before, a desire to grow personally and be fitting into that relationships he never had, and also love Ukraine, or respect Ukrainian culture to a degree and be willing to make an effort into doing this. So basically, a man who has succeeded in life on one level or another. And a man who is ready to work on himself, to kind of boost his emotional intelligence, to become a better partner, a better husband if it gets there. Well, we will be getting him there. But a man who wants to try.
Okay, so I have a question about that old stuff that I just heard from you that was so inspiring, and I just can't get what's your role in the process. So what's matchmaker role here?
Matchmaker is a trusted person. It's somebody, it's some sort of a mama you're coming to. It's a coach, it's a psychologist, it's someone you trust, someone you come and say, this is my task. It's a love headhunter that listens to you and understands. I will study you and I will learn what makes you happy, what triggers you, what challenges you, what type of partner you want, what type of relationship you want to build, who are you, and what type of life you want to live together with somebody. And I'm starting the headhunt. So, ta-da! Who is that beautiful girl that we want to find? I will study your visual taste. I will study your past relationships and we will see if there are any go blocks. So a matchmaker is an integrator of a personality, a support group, a reliable confidant that knows where are the right people. Matchmaker puts your best interest at heart because you want to find the person. Who is that person? There she is. Meet this girl, meet that woman, and see what works and how that realizes.
So can I call you a personal marketer that will market myself and just introduce to the girl that will be marketed as the same way?
That's a PR. That's a personal PR representative.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. And what qualities should I look for when I'm choosing a professional matchmaker?
It has to be a confident professional with more than 10,000 hours of experience. It has to be a person who has a degree in psychology, who has degree in communications, somebody who knows the right people, analytical person who takes your best interest at heart, as I said, as well as person who is integrating other professionals, because sometimes we need to go beyond the database to find the right person for you. And the person who has a lot of different connections and knows where to get the right people for you.
So, do just matchmaker needs to have a family, a successful family?
Yes, a matchmaker, usually a good matchmaker, has good experience in relationships. Ideally, it's a family with children and going through the loops of happy and transformative relationships, or a person can be divorced. And nowadays, it's no longer like a stigma that it is like this. And a matchmaker has to have relationships and has to know relationships. And ideally, some matchmakers are members of the Matchmaking Institute because such institute exists in New York.
Really?
And I've been with the Matchmakers Institute since 2008. So
That's cool.
I even have a matchmaking degree with a diploma.
That's cool. I'm just asking about the compatibility. So, how do you just find those compatibilities between the woman and man, and how do you join them together?
Well, there are deal makers that we all have. Certain things that make us happy. And I study those deal makers. I study you. I study you as a client and understand what are your strong features? What are you bringing into a relationship? What do you want in a relationship? What are your relationship goals? What are your relationships expectations? Well, basically goals. You want to have family and children? How soon? How many? What are your relationship expectations? What do you expect from communication? What type of communication you want? What type of sexuality is acceptable for you? Everything matters. And then I am creating a picture in my imagination. Who is the guy and what is his interest? And then I am comparing it with the women that I know. Who has those features? Who will be, first of all, attractive enough for this type of a guy, but also who will have these features that will match his lifestyle? And then I suggest, because I may not know for sure, but understanding what makes him happy is the key. And then people meet each other. And many of them
Here is where the story begins, and here where it all starts to work. Yeah. And
my task is giving the options. And I start from the most suitable option, from the best candidate, because many, check boxes are right.
there is a guide which just you are preparing, for example, very personally for people just to join and meet each other. Yes.
Yes, I do a personal interview, and you will tell me everything.
So
Because
I'm just having a question. So the privacy matters, and in the process, you are getting to know me that much. So I'm just curious about the confidentiality, which just
of course, and it's a very important point because we're going to sign contract as a client and a service of everything that matters to you that first of all, I keep everything confidential because if you meet this girl and you spend time with her and you kind of begin relationships and then it doesn't work out,
it's
you meet
pretty
another girl.
personal. Yeah.
She doesn't need to know what was happening before, and you don't need to tell her either. But some men forget and they start like really opening up, which is useless, right? So we discuss this confidentiality matter. So first, we sign a contract where this NDA, non-disclosure agreement, about everything that is happening between us as a business and client. Second, we have privacy policy on our website, and that is important. That's international. We also have confidential profile of a guy on our website. That means that if I tell her about you, I will send her a unique URL link that she will never find and she will never Google.
And she'll never repeat again.
Yes. So I create your profile, yes, but it's an inside information that goes only to her, showing your profile. And I will introduce her to your profile like this. And then you don't disclose things that are going
course.
in our work. So women's profiles are different because men need to see what they are getting. So we have
Try before buy. No?
Well, you don't try, you see.
Okay.
So you need to look at the profiles, but you need to be a client for that, right? So you have to have a contract with me that you also don't recognize a neighbor, maybe a guy. Well, you won't see a guy, but you will see girls
That's all
that
possible.
you've probably dated before or something like that, if you were in this circle before.
Okay, so you work with Ukrainian women and Western men.
Yes.
So now there is an ongoing war in Ukraine, the full-scale war where the borders are closed for at least a man in Ukraine. But so how is that going today?
Well, the borders are open for Western men to come, but I won't risk to tell a guy to come to Ukraine unless he really wants to do so. So first thing, we introduce a couple online. There is a strategy and a very well-proven plan of introducing a profile, approving the profile, making a video date, and then preparing them for developing relationships if they are attracted to each other. So a man and a woman get their contacts exchanged if there is interest, and the interest happens when they know how to present themselves. So we work a lot on preparing a woman and a man for the video date, and when the date goes on, they talk to each other openly. We leave them alone to speak to each other, and then we give them a lot of insights and ideas and hints on how they can develop relationships. So our couples, if they like each other, they get lists of things they need to learn about each other. We are advising them how to build trust, how to get to know more of each other, what types of video dates they can have to make their connections deeper. Basically, our couples are walking in the parks, walking
And
dogs
showing
together.
the things around. So they are learning how to communicate, yes?
They go to restaurants simultaneously in different parts of the world, talking to each other. She buys a tripod, she puts her he sends her flowers to the restaurant. Nowadays, it is possible because of the modern technology.
And the
now,
equipment, so everyone may get everywhere, so anywhere.
yes, but by the time the couple decides to meet personally, and we try to emphasize on the importance of that. So usually they don't talk for too long. Maybe like, let's say, the shortest, it was 2 weeks. The longest, it was actually 6 months, but it's long. So if you meet within a month or two, that's great. And by the time people meet, they really trust each
And
other.
already know a lot about each other.
It's just one little thing and they fall in love. And actually, that's what happens.
That's here the puzzle just tries
Yes.
to be finished.
And
Okay.
if they don't, they stop communication and we approach another person. So it's safe. A man doesn't have to travel so far. Well, I should admit, it's backwards. Because in human relations, it's about touch, it's about smell, it's about the chemistry. And chemistry is a lot in nonverbal things.
Of course.
You lose a lot of nonverbal things with cameras. And it also takes away your attractiveness to a woman, her attractiveness to you. So the whole world is kind of a surprise kind of thing, right? But when you are able to develop this emotional connection, intellectual connection, you know about these things. And you intuitively sense this because by the places you go to, by the imagination you have, by the experience you have in life, you see where the person is bringing you, what she's talking about, what you see in the background in her home. And then you get a better feeling and understanding.
Whether it is that ideal partner.
Stop about ideal. Ideal doesn't exist.
Okay, so
Right?
here is my question. So what are about some misconceptions and maybe some unrealistic expectations about the partner?
Well, everybody wants an ideal man or ideal woman. And many men say, oh, it's just about this girl that I meet. And when I meet such a woman, I will immediately fall in love and it will be a puzzle. Right. Or some of them are saying, I'll pay you $100 per date. And at that moment, I'm feeling like anyone but a matchmaker, right? Because matchmaking is a process. It's not like one-time transaction. And many people are too much used to, escort or something else.
Pay and receive.
Paying and receiving relationships when they are coming to women. I'm not judging that. It's a private life story. But when you're coming to a matchmaker, you are opening your world and you are describing what type of person you want. And as a matchmaker, I will tell you, okay, which are the features that are key elements? What are the deal makers? If taking away the rest, what matters the most? And we will define that.
So, for example, 3 just things that matter the most, or 5 things that just are crucial in the partner, in the future partner, and what just clients are looking for. Yeah.
And also, what are your personal go blocks that don't let you have such a partner? Because you want,
so what you can give in
but you
back.
can't get. What prevents you from getting what you want? Because people are single for a reason, right? We were hurt sometime before. Our childhood wasn't always the happiest, or our first love wasn't the greatest. And we got fixated on some of those things. So finding those go blocks and unpacking them and transforming them is also part of a matchmaker.
That's like opening a Pandora box, yeah, with hidden just feelings, hidden just troubles.
But I address it to professionals. We have professional therapists and coaches who are quickly working on that, and the guy becomes a great new person, and the girl
Is receiving.
appears.
Appears.
I see it a lot when women are coming. For example, her mom and dad divorced, and she was very hurting about that. And she can't find a partner because she got fixated on the dad being dishonest and not loyal. And she keeps choosing those type of men. And those girls all the girls that are happily married had some therapy before. Not because they were sick, but because they were growing personally. And the moment she transforms that, the sky opens and the prince and the white horse
And the sun
appears.
is starting to shine. Yeah.
He comes to me and I recognize him because I know her strength, I know her expectations, and I just have to, oh, wow, that's Anna for you, John. look at each other, meet.
So there are a lot of dating apps.
Right.
We all use them. We all just kind of swiping. So what's the difference between the matchmaker approach and the dating app approach?
Dating apps are good because they are good for a start. If somebody is single, that's the easiest way to start and getting the people, because nobody's now meeting on the street. Like, there are lots of weird people on the street. You have a chance to learn.
That's strange for now.
Yeah.
We are more just used to communicate in social networks, in dating apps. So that's not so scary for us today to meet just outdoors.
And you can study a little bit about a person because we represent ourselves. We show a picture and you can read more on a picture. You read facial features, you read what a person writes, and you can guess the intellect. Even if he is not putting commas in his description, that's a statement, right? But matchmaking is about the goal of relationships, because when in dating apps you experiment, in matchmaking you know what you want and you get from A to B quicker. So using dating apps does not exclude using a matchmaker, but matchmaker is a qualitative approach. And those men, there are many men that are so much used to swiping that you just have to kind of kick him out of this scenario. So what I do is I'm giving him blind dates when we agree about the criteria, age, looks, and just it's a surprise day. So like, wow, she's gorgeous, right? But you didn't like her pictures before. I invite those men on my speaking clubs. I have like bi-weekly events when men and women come and we talk about relationships and fun things in life, and then they see each other. And there are many matches like this. There are events when I have a guy and a couple of girls and we do a cooking class. So then he can switch from swiping into real life. But the key element here, he has to be willing to do
so.
He has to trust the matchmaker to bring him, take him by hand, stand behind him, and
guide him into the
show
things.
him a safe direction and back him. Just in case.
So what does the matchmaker need from the client, from me, for example? So are there any list of things you need?
Well, first of all, we need to create a profile. Easy. So a profile consists of a visual part and an intellectual part. Visual, the primacy effect. You know what is a primacy effect?
Yeah, of course. That's I saw and I wanted and I think about it.
Exactly. So it's scientifically proven that when we see a person for the first couple of seconds, that creates an impression. Yeah. And in 99%, that impression stays. So what you see is later affecting. Something can change and maybe, but very rarely.
Of course.
So when we are creating a visual profile of a guy, we want him to look.
To show his best, yes?
At his best, but also represent the social status he has, show respectfully to women that he is who he is. Because good visual image actually builds trust. We are not showing a man like a model, because a woman is a model. She has to look cute. She has to smile. A man has to look confident, representative. A man will show his positive attitude, the clothes that he wears. And we have a professional image consultant who is preparing a guy for that kind of a photo shoot. And he gets on a call with a stylist. He opens his wardrobe. They pick the clothes. They take different colors. And she tells him the basic 3 looks that are good for him.
Best for him.
So that's how we create the visual. And then when a guy is taking his telephone and he is doing selfies, it's like cutting my heart with a dumb knife.
That's not the thing we want to see when we are just looking for not just ideal, we are looking for a partner.
Yes, and it's like and he doesn't clean the camera.
Of course, with the fingertips.
And that's not fun, and that's not sexy and not cool. So what I advise Mian is to take a professional camera, to hire a photographer, and tell him that I am doing a dating photo shoot. So the photographers know when you give them the purpose, they will do their best.
Different niches and different approaches. Yeah.
Right. Then, after talking to a guy and understanding his best features, his best qualities, his interests, his expectations, we write a cover letter, basically, officially, but we are representing this man, describing why a girl will be happy with this type of a guy. And that is as important as visual, because that puts the picture together.
Yeah, thank you. So the last question for you here in this episode. So what are top do's and don'ts for a man when he is just in the process of matchmaking?
Well, the profile, you're talking about a profile, right? Yeah. So the do's are to look professional, to look sharp, to look attractive, to look according to the social class he belongs, and to tell the truth about himself, describing the life as it is, talking about his future goals, describing his goals of relationships, and describing his life. Because if he was grown by a single mom, that's it. So talk about this. If he is living in China, for example, being an American, let's talk about this. And no bragging, no promising. A real person. That's what he wants to find. So if you want to find a sincere, reliable, honest, family-oriented woman, you have to show yourself as such a man. So that's easy. Well, that's not easy, because when men are living in their worlds, they forget about this. Yeah. So the role of a matchmaker is focusing his attention on the right things.
Thank you. So thank you for joining us on our podcast about the matchmaking. Here is Natalie Koval, the love relationship expert, as well as the creator of the matchmaking boutique Possible.
Everything is possible if you make a lot of conscious efforts to achieve that. Let's do it.